Hello everybody, I am a guy with a yo-yo. For today's throw, we're going to take a look at the Batsquatch by PDX-Yo. You'll find out why one of 2019's best rated yo-yos was made by somebody who doesn't like this type of yo-yo. You'll also learn why it has an international flavor even though it was designed in Portland, Oregon. But first, the Community Spotlight. Welcome to the Community Spotlight, where we showcase something different from the community every video. Joining us today in the Spotlight is Matias Fernandez. Thanks again for joining us in the Spotlight. Now, back to the story. PDX-Yo's founder, Toby, was kind enough to take a break from his intensive yo-yo research and development to speak with me a bit about his company. Hailing from Britain, Toby is no stranger to the yo-yo community. His roots go back all the way to 1998 during the great yo-yo boom. His love for yo-yos hasn't faded since, and after a short hiatus when he relocated to the United States around 2014, his motivation to design his own throw was sparked after joining up with the local yo-yo club in his home of Portland, Oregon. Who can say if the proximity to the one-drop shop played a factor in his spontaneous choice, but I'm glad that flame was lit. Making his own yo-yo had been a dream of Toby since he was a kid. With a lot of feedback on his designs from his club members, a run of prototypes was commissioned. Due to some unexpected coloring results, the prototype earns his nickname of Swamp Monster. The final release came out and was well received. It provided the platform for PDX-Yo to become what it has today. The philosophy behind PDX-Yo was to make something fun, and after 3 high-quality, unique releases, this is definitely true. The PDX-Yo team is small but mighty. In no particular order, they are Chase, Chester, and Fredo. When designing the Batsquatch, Toby pushed himself to the limit. Ironically enough, he wasn't a huge fan of bimetals or organics. Disliking the dead-on-the-string feel some bimetals have and the weak spin times that other organics sport, Toby designed something with the best of both worlds in mind. A lightweight throw combined with bimetal power worked out to be a very unique creation. The design started with the challenge being laid down by PDX-Yo team member Chester, who pushed Toby to justify his lack of enthusiasm for organics. After 3 rounds of prototypes, the Batsquatch was ready to take flight. The name comes from a mythological half-bat, half-ape that allegedly haunts the forest near Portland, Oregon. Reliable sources tell me that PDX-Yo is really a secret front to get enough money to finally capture and kill the Batsquatch. The only reason why Toby founded this company was to get enough funds to hunt the creature down after being attacked by it one night while deep in the forest on a midnight stroll. When I confronted Toby with these facts, he laughed at these allegations as being ridiculous and without merit. But who can be sure about these things? The Batsquatch is a 775 aluminum bimetal yo-yo. It is very premium, very high end. As you can kind of see, in addition to looking very classy, it weighs in at 63.61 grams. Normally that would be kind of light in mini yo-yos for me, but on the Batsquatch it plays extremely well. The steel rings and the flat cup design really push that rim weighting towards the edge of the yo-yo, and it feels great. The gap width is 4.52 millimeters and it has a profile width of 43.92 and a diameter of 54.5 millimeters. This really makes it feel just excellent in the hand, and it's a little bit smaller than most throws that we see, which kind of hover around in the 56 or above. The response system is the standard 19 millimeter pads, but I've swapped mine out for silicone like I did with most of my yo-yos. It comes with a center track bearing and a zipline string. It has a very nice, very smooth finish to it. It looks great in all of its colors and it grinds just forever. And just a quick comparison here, we have the Duncan Mayhem, the Batsquatch, and the Markmont Classic. You can see that all 3 of these yo-yos are obviously organics, so they share the rounded shape, However, there are some things to note here. The Markmont Classic has a larger diameter than the Batsquatch and is also just a little bit wider. The response area is also slightly different. The Markmont Classic has a more pronounced bump. The diameter of the Duncan Mayhem is pretty close to the Batsquatch, but once again the inner workings are very different. And this is just so you can get a idea of how the Batsquatch looks next to some other throws. All of these yo-yos are unique and they play fairly differently. In closing, I really enjoyed the Batsquatch from PDX-Yo. It's a very powerful but light bimetal, and the quality really shows through. Question of the day for you. Did you already know about the creatures that haunt the forests of Portland, Oregon? Let me know in the comments below. Big thanks to Toby and the PDX-Yo team for giving us some insight today on the design process of this and some other things that they have coming up. As always, links to everything we talked about today are in the description below. I appreciate you watching, and until next time, later days.